And the bad news is we've all been fully invested in this Danny Christie, Brett May situation for months and months and months now, and not been a single punch thrown. But I think that we can put a stop to this because we all want to see some action. So stick around for a little while, a couple of minutes, while I talk about this crap. And then I'm going to tell you as for why. Right, so we've had Brett May. Big bad Brett Mayo, the king of Doncaster, the hardest street fighting man around, who's had officially one sanctioned professional fight that lasted approximately 2 rounds and ended in him not being able to see and losing, basically. And I'm not here to argue if that was or wasn't true. Maybe he couldn't. Maybe he genuinely couldn't. Maybe that's why he's scared now to fight again. But he's been calling out anyone with a name, anyone under the sun. Paul Venice, no intentions of fighting him. Danny Christie, no intentions of fighting him. Becca Heggie, no intentions of fighting him. Etc. Dyson, Hench, Big Ginge. The list goes on. So with the Danny ones, because they're the ones that we was invested with Paul as well, but it was a one-day thing on Exposure TV and Brett didn't go for 25k. But the Danny ones, we had the bad to the bone fight that was nailed on, set in stone. Then Brett goes too far, sabotages the fight by talking about Danny's missus yet again. Being very, very rude, very insulting. I'm going to show you how easy it is to call someone out in a minute. And Danny goes down to Doncaster and Brett's nowhere to be seen. And he's on licence, so maybe it's true. Maybe he didn't want to get into a street fight because he's on licence. So that gets left. Been a few back and forth since, but not much really. Danny goes on to fight Sean Rafferty. Fucking great fight. Danny wins. And Conor Tierney, fucking great fight. Danny loses because Danny's a fighting man. So he'll win or he'll lose and he can hold his head high because we all know what he's all about. And Brett's back all the while poking the bear, insulting him about the Tierney loss, insulting him about the Rafferty fight, spreading bullshit about him and just being a general dickhead. And we still think that Brett's got the intentions of fighting him. So it heats up again, heats up, and Brett then starts insulting Danny's fiance again. So Danny says, right, I'm coming down again. And Danny goes to Brett in Doncaster. Nothing happens. Nothing to be seen, nothing to behold. And it certainly wasn't from Danny's part. It's very clear now that it wasn't from Danny's part the reason why we didn't see a fight on that day. But Danny wanted a boxing match. Of course he wanted a boxing match or a bare knuckle boxing match because that's his forte. Of course he's going to want that, especially against a bloke with a 10-stone weight advantage on him. Brett's going, no rules. Danny's saying, I'll have a no rules fight with you, but you're not going to get paid. No, I want the money up front, this, that. It's bullshit, just rubbish. We've all seen it for what it is. 99% of us have seen it for what it is. And the fact of the matter is, I think if they was to have a boxing match, Danny beats Brett 99 out of 100 times. I think that's very, very clear to everyone. And that's why Brett won't do it. Because he doesn't want to get beaten up by someone 10 stone like that. That's fine. But just say that. But in a no rules fight, maybe it might be 90 out of 100 times. It might be a little bit closer because he might bite him or lay on him or something. But we've also had the turnaround with a Bash fight. And in the first place, it did sort of look like Bash was drinking too much or whatever else and on his way out of it and he didn't fancy it. But he lost the plot or fucking he was playing with a crocodile or whatever else. But now, really, was that the case? Now we've seen the rest of the shenanigans that go around the whole Brett May saga. Then you've had, since then, Joe Lister, Andrew Anthony. No one's been touched. No one's been hurt. No fights have been had. No, just no fights. So we all want to see a fight. And I want to prove to everyone how very, very easy it is to make a fight. And I'm sure Danny will be more than happy to accept this. Me and Danny are mates. No issues there at all. Nothing but respect for the fella. And for me to be able to share the ring with him would be an absolute honour and a privilege. But I want to give a fight to the people, give them something to watch. And if Danny is willing to accept, I'm more than happy to travel to Carlisle Waters. It is about 400 miles away, so it might take a little while for me to get there. But say I'm going on holiday next week and I'm not going to cancel that to get beaten up for other people's entertainment. But second week of September, I'll travel to Carlisle Waters and I will be privileged, if possible, to fight Danny Christie in a ring. I'll give you 3 2-minute rounds. And if I lose, I lose. I couldn't give a monkeys. It'll be a brilliant experience. I most probably will, but I would like to test myself against one of the best bare knuckle fighters this country's ever produced. I'm not going to have a bare knuckle fight. I've never had a bare knuckle fight. I'm not going to jump in with no gloves on against someone of that calibre, but I will give him a boxing match because he's a very, very proficient boxer, and let's see how it goes. Let me know what you think down below, boys. Danny, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe. Adios, la boche.